What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. This is the T5S2 Season 3 Pod 14 Finals, and we are live here with the two Ashes of the Tactical Tortoise server. We have, in the red, Ashley Thompson, who I'm going to try to refer to as Ashley Thompson, so this doesn't get too confusing, playing Tyranids, which is interesting. These are two of, I think, the world's most renowned Adeptus Sororitas players, both of whom are not playing Adeptus Sororitas, so this should be an interesting game. Ashley Thompson over here in the red playing Tyranids. Tyranid Monster Mash with a bunch of big stumpy boys versus, in the blue, AshC. I'm going to try to call her Rentar today, but that is AshC from the server. You should recognize her if you've been around. Very prolific Sororitas player playing Imperial Knights alongside some Adeptus Mechanicus today. It's going to be a good game, chat. I hope everybody's excited. I had a request to turn the face cam on for this commentary, so we're going to try that and see how it goes, chat. Let me know if you like it. And there's been some requests for predictions, so let's frickin' do it. Players are deploying right now.
You've got no sniping of any kind.
Who will win? Tyranids or Knights and Friends?
That's good enough for me, I guess.
We're going to do it pretty quick because the players are finishing deployment pretty quickly here. Boom. Get those votes in, chat! How's it going, everybody? Exclamation point lists in the chat if you want to follow along. Go ahead and take a look at the lists here. Ashley playing a pretty interesting build of Tyranids. Like we said, Monster Mash style, which is usually pretty interesting unless you hit a hard counter to the big scary beasties. And unfortunately, the Knights on the other side of the table might be that hard counter. So talking to the players before the game, Ashley was not optimistic about her chances to get out of this game, but we'll see how she does. Sometimes you could just go in and blow up a bunch of Imperial Knights, and then it's like whatever. They're just dead. Dimacaron double fought and killed two of them, so I think that's going to be plan A. She's bringing a single Kraken battalion with a Brute Lord as well as a Malanthrope and the Swarm Lord. Malanthrope, an interesting choice and a very popular one for these style of lists. It's an expensive HQ option, and it doesn't have any abilities, or it doesn't have any useful sort of rules besides sometimes giving you a bonus to hit. But it does have a 6-inch aura of -1 to be hit from ranged attacks for high fleet units, and it's a character, sub 10 wounds, so you cannot target it out. That's the upside of Malanthropes between them and something like a Venomthrope, which would normally be targeted and your opponent could just kill them to get rid of that -1 aura. But Malanthrope, no. Can't shoot him. Malanthrope says, I'm too small. I'm too small to be attacked. Broodlord also in there just as a counterpunch unit and a decent unit to cast some psychic powers. They hit pretty good. They cast 1, they deny 1. You can barb them for casting 2, which I think is probably what we're going to be doing here. She has that marked on her list. Looks like she's kept that. So yeah, Resonance Barb on that guy for 2 casts. And it might, sometimes you could just drop a Psychic Scream out of that guy. So it's Smite, Psychic Scream, you do 2d3 mortal wounds. That's pretty solid for a 125-point character. We also have approximately 1 billion Hormagaunts. 1 unit of 22, as well as 4 units of 10, for a total of 52 Hormagaunts. 1 unit of Rippers to grab, engage in all fronts, and it looks like Tyranids are going first this game. We're gonna do some pregame moves here. We also have 1 Lictor, 2 Dimacarons, as well as 2 Barbed Hierodules. These are not Scythe Hierodules, so these aren't the Flamer profile with the big melee attacks, although their melee attacks are basically equivalent. They do have big guns, though. 12 shots total. Strength 8, -2 AP for a flat 2 damage. Sort of an autocannon with extra steps. But sort of kind of a glorified Exocrine, essentially, coming out of that profile. It is High Fleet Kraken, like we said, so the entire detachment can fall back and charge and gets bonuses to advance, which is all very nice to deliver those Dimacarons. But it doesn't buff the barbed Hyrule shooting at all, so they have no buffs to their shooting whatsoever. They're just doing normal stuff. Broodlord making a big advance out here to get up to the center of the table. Probably going to try to force out a Tactica Obliqua on one of these units early. We may also see it try to drop an Onslaught, if that is the psychic power that it has. I'm going to go ahead and hit their datasheet here and see if we've put the... Nope, Psychic Stream. Okay. So Onslaught's probably on the Swarmlord, but what we could see here is a Synaptic Channeling on this Broodlord to give it Onslaught. Oh, no, I'm just going to leave. Just kidding. Ignore me, I guess. And that would allow it to benefit from the +1 to cast, thanks to the Resonance Barb. Is what that would do. It just costs 1 CP. But, I mean, obviously the Wombo combo here is that we can advance a Dimacaron a ridiculous distance. 12 inches plus 3d6, pick the highest doubled, so probably 24 inches, then move it again, another 18 with Swarmlord. If you get that Onslaught off, then you can advance and charge it, and it charges after that. Big downside is that these are Megaras on the other side of the table we'll speak about in a second, but they do have twin Rad Cleansers on them, one of them bringing the Headsman's Mark for +1 damage, so it's a damage 4 Rad Cleanser, which has a non-zero chance of just killing a Dimacaron on the charge, which is the downside of this matchup for sure. Moving over to, I should mention as well, we got a couple pregame switches for AshC. She listed Dermic Symbiosis on her Barbed Hyrule, but she actually moved that to Murderous Size on the Dimacaron's Sickle Talons. So they are going to be Strength 9, AP 4 for D3 plus 4 damage. So just hoping to maximize damage if one of them gets into one of these knights. It looks like the shooting's just going to be trying to knock out the Cerberus Raiders here to stop those from move blocking. And the rest of the monsters are hiding back behind this L. We're actually not going to try to send them too far forward. Looks like the distances would have been awkward. You would have had to try to get a Dimacaron. Well, they do go over walls. They can't stand on walls, so you'd be trying to charge to get into a knight here, and then the other one intervenes into you. Probably kills you before you get your double swing. And the Megaras with a 5+ invulnerable save, even in melee, means that they sometimes just don't die. Sometimes they just don't die. Moving over to Rentar's list. And it looks like a Pathogenic Slime going down into the Fusilov. Try to kill that before it gets to bomb any of these Hormigaunt units. So those were smites going into the Raiders to kill one and a half of them. And then we're going into the Fusilov. And as always happens with Pathogenic Slime, it's just a permission for your monster to underperform. They're like, you know what? +1 damage? That means I don't have to hit as many times. And then they just fail a whole bunch. So it looks like 6 damage goes through on that one from the Pathogenic Hyrule. We might shoot it with the second one, try to kill it. It would be a pretty solid pickup on turn 1, because one downside of this Tyranid list is that it gets move blocked relatively easily. If the Fusilov just runs up and puts its base right here, these Barbed Hyrules can't really go anywhere. And you can also put the other one in an awkward position for where the Dimacarons want it to stand, and gets bad. Mr. Dogbert with the subscription. Thanks, Mr. Dogbert. I appreciate it. But before we go back to the players' mics here, looks like Skitaria Vanguard's going down to something.
Alright, well, Trevi has told me that Pathogenic Slime is always a mistake, but he was dying.
Alright, so it looks like the plane did go down and exploded. Killed 3 servitors of Vanguard, knocked 2 wounds off of each of the armatures. AshC can't be that worried about, or can't be upset about that. That's a pretty good turn 1. Conservative turn 1. But one of the benefits of High Fleet Kraken is that you're so fast, a lot of times it just means you don't even have to use your speed. Your opponent has to engage into you, which gives you favorable engagements, because they can't afford to sit out of your threat range, because usually your threat range reaches like literally the back edge of your opponent's table. So they just have to come in and give you good fights. Pretty good, solid round of shooting, turn 1 from the Hyrules here. Very impressed by that. So Rentar's list, real quick. She's bringing A patrol detachment out of Adeptus Mechanicus, bringing a Luminary Suffusion, which I believe gives them a rad aura for -1 toughness. We all have a Tech Priest Engineer leading it with 2 units of Scutarii Vanguards, 1 unit of Servitors, as well as X-101 to drop some banners, a unit of Cerberus Raiders, a unit of Sulfur Hounds. I didn't know she had Sulfur Hounds in the list. That's spicy as hell. Spicy because they're hot like flamethrowers. As well as 2 Archaeopter Fusilovs with command uplinks. I don't think anybody's surprised about that. We have a House Crast super heavy detachment. Bringing 3 Armature Warglaves, 2 with heavy stubbers, 1 with a Melta-gun, 2 Knight Megaeras, so 1 with the Headsman's Mark and First Knight, the other one with the Ion Bulwark. It's an extra armor save, I think. I'm going to have to double check chat. I apologize. We don't get Knights on the stream too often. 4+ invulnerable save against ranged weapons, excuse me. So it's essentially +1 invulnerable save all the time in their shooting phase. That is not, doesn't work on the fight phase though. Thank goodness for those big guys. Is it Armor of Sainted Ion? That's 2+ save? Yeah, it is. Okay. It's the other Ion one. I was close. Almost there. And yeah, that's what's going on. And then we have the Helm Dominatus on that same Megaera, and Headsman's Mark for +1 damage on the other one. All right, so moving up the table here, we're going to be dropping a bunch of Melta Thermal Spears into the first Barbed Hierodule here. Fusilov, not sure if it got a bomb on anyone. Looks like that would have been tough to pull off. But the annoying part about this Fusilov is that in this sort of clustered deployment, as soon as it dies, it'll auto-explode, and so it's going to be dealing D3 mortal wounds to most of this stuff, unless AshC pulls pretty far away from it, but I don't think she can really afford to, so those are casualties she'll just have to take. She will take the Cerberus Raider charge, probably on the Hormagaunts, and it looks like they are catalysted right now for 5+ damage ignore, so they're going to be a little bit tough to take out. And we're going to shooting phase. This game's going quick.
Is going to shoot.
That's it. Yeah, you're right, chat. It bombed the purple gaunts, it looks like.
Stubbers are going into red.
Sure what that trajectory looks like, but that's okay.
The number of thermal lance shot is 2. Thing on 3s. Or 4s? Oh wait, no, your thing is an aura. Yes. Ah.
Okay, so we use the electropilament countermeasures to knock off the Malanthrope aura.
Yep.
So it would not be affecting the Barbed Hierodules today.
-4, it's a Melta.
Okay, yep, that goes through then.
3 damage. Next one is going to do the same thing. Alright, now Stubbers. Stubber shots. Can I see one? Yes, I can. Okay. 3 saves on your red Hormagaunts.
Yep, AP 0, right?
Yep.
Okay, got my pains. Nope, 3 dead.
Okay, next one's the same thing. These ones are 4s.
I do apologize for the audio chat. Rentar has some tropical birds, I guess, outside her house right now, so they're making a ruckus. So if you hear some screechy birds, that's from Rentar's side there.
Right, up.
Exclamation point lists in the chat if you want to check out the lists, everybody.
And the last one is going to shoot 3 shots. This one has a Melta, so the Melta's shooting nowhere, but it's a little Melta, not a big Melta. So 2 saves.
Yep.
4 more damage. I'll reroll one of those.
Barbed Hierodule almost dead from the Melta shooting.
I can do 4 more damage.
Cool.
Yeah, losing those wounds very quickly without that dermic symbiosis.
All these dogs are going to shoot your Broodlord.
Oh, right, yeah, they snipe. Sure. Wait, I asked if you had characters and you said no.
I thought you meant with my knights, because these
Oh.
guys, like, I mean, I'll just shoot the Homagons. It's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, shoot the Homagons.
So a little miscommunication there.
I honestly completely forgot they existed.
Nope, doesn't matter either
Cerberus
way.
Raiders do have that Eye of
2
Cerberus
saves on your
to shoot at
Homagons.
characters.
Yep. AP, how
Both
much?
of the players
0.
forgot to discuss that before
Okay,
the
then
game.
they're fine.
Big Knight.
Some good
1
sportsmanship
is
between
going
these
to
players,
shoot
though.
his
Just
lightning
deciding
cannon. Yeah.
to target something else, even if it's the less
No,
efficient
actually,
target.
that's-
Not that the Cerberus
This
Raider
guy
shooting is really
going
what
to
you're
shoot
bringing
his
them there for.
lightning cannon there, because I don't want to shoot super killy one. So this one is going into the injured guy from the one without hitsman's mark.
Yep.
10 hits. That many at -2.
I will CP one of those.
Those
fail.
are 3 each, by the
Yeah, I
way.
know. That's why I'm CPing. Okay, takes 3.
Oh, they've got a base too, huh?
Hyrodules are tanky.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the other benefit of
this
the
one
barbed
is going to
Hyrodules.
shoot
It's +1
everything
save
into that
over
guy.
the scythed variant. Those barbs, I guess. Like a porcupine. Can't get bullets in.
Rolling the 1. 10 hits, winning on 5s. 2.
I think appropriately, it's Adeptus
Okay.
Mechanicus who are being friends with the Knights
Okay.
chat. Look at these guys, little knight friends over here.
All my shooting.
They're just happy to be here.
Except for this guy, he's going to shoot red.
Yep.
12 shots.
Force is advanced.
No, the plane.
Yeah, the plane advanced, so it hits on
Oh,
force.
did it?
Oh, it didn't? Right.
It goes
Okay.
50. It just goes 50.
Right, of course it does. Why wouldn't it? 2 fast saves and 0 feel no pains.
And then charges, and they will just charge the dogs will charge your Homagons.
Now, what'll be awkward here is if
5.
the plane is 6 inches of all of the synapse creatures. I believe that the Hormagons here will have to take leadership, which is probably what we're looking at on Rentar's side. Gonna try to force as many of those to go away as possible, or force an insane bravery.
Within 1 inch of the wall. Of the
But it might
inside
be
of the
okay
wall,
since
but
their objective secured. You can just leave 1 on the objective, and it will be holding it down.
less than us Homagons there. Okay, fights. They're all just swinging into your Homagons.
Yep.
So that's 5 from the guys on top. We got 4s. And welding on 3s. 2 at -1. 2 at -1.
Yep, heavy cover, so I have 6 ups, and then feel no pains.
Oof.
Nope, this catalyst is not very useful.
Yeah, Catalyst would have been nice in that barbed Hyrule, I think.
8 shot.
Giving you a lot of chances to save wounds there, but it's not really working out with these Hormagons, unfortunately. Well,
2 saves, no AP.
doesn't help that those rolls weren't
Cool.
great.
Another one dead.
Okay. Yep, so you can fight back with your Homagons.
Yep, so we'll go 6 up to here.
Oh, I got a shadow behind me, chat, and the light I haven't turned on. There we go. Get rid of that shadow. Alright, Hormagons. They do have a lot of swords for arms, but not the
And
greatest
then how
unit
many?
melee.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Only
6,
strength
7, 8,
3.
9, 10, 11, 12. 24 attacks. So these are hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s with Scything Talons.
What AshC can use this for
And then
is some additional
wounding
movement
on
up the table
fours.
to contest Rentar's objectives.
7 AP zeros.
Because they get a 6-inch pile in and consolidate on those Hormagons, thanks to Bounding Leap.
Okay.
And they do kill a Cerberus Raider. Get stuffed.
How far
And then with
away?
Highfleet Kraken, they can
Towards
fall
that
back and
way, so that
charge.
won't work.
So we could see them just pull
Just
back,
come around like that.
Okay.
maybe chain back to
And
Swarmlord,
then you
get a
gotta
double
take
move, and then
miles.
knock this objective out from
Yes, I
under
do.
the Knights.
So for the purple ones, They fail. One of them runs, and then there's 3 left. Just the one will go.
Yeah, so it
And
looks like we did
for
catch all
red
the
ones,
synapse.
they also fail. 1 runs, and then 11 more. Another
Oh.
one runs.
Yeah, I'll need to run from that. So that's not too bad.
Okay,
So this could
and that's
potentially
2 points of engage.
give AshC a really some
10 on primary.
impressive tempo on primaries. Rentar wasn't able to contest her objectives appropriately. She did not bring raise the banners high.
First things first,
which is
I'm going
good.
to move and then metabolic overdrive the green squads. They're going
Yep.
16 inches.
And she's just going to start knocking all the banners off of Rentar's
going
objectives
also to
and
scrambler.
stopping them from scoring primary. Now, Retrieval Mission is a hold 1 for 5 and 2 for 10 mission. So it's unlikely that she's going to be able to stop Rentar from scoring this back objective. But what this will do is potentially knock off all the banners on the Knights side of the table, because they did take raise the banners high, so they would be putting banners here and here and here. If you drop the red unit here to contest and the green unit here to contest, you're going to knock both banners off, which is going to be difficult to replace. And then you're going to drop the Knights down to only 5 primary. And if you can continue that for a couple turns and not lose too much, it's already sort of surprising that this Barbed Tyranids didn't die, to be honest. That was a little lucky on AshC's part. And that means that Rentar's going to have to spend more time shooting at that. She's probably going to lose the Archaeopter to, maybe one of these Hyrule shooting, and then the other one can go and try to knock out a Warglaive or something. Damage was already dealt to them from the Exploding Fusillade last turn. Just make sure you don't lose your Hyrule to to the other Exploding Fusillade. Although I don't think there's anything you can do about that. It's locked in.
It will just clog up the path for everyone else, and it's locked out of the black. And we shall... Overwatch from these things is pretty nasty. I don't want to get caught with that. But I would like to send a Dima out. So we will go on a mission. We're going to end 6 inches away from the inside of the wall so that Swami can help.
So it looks like we're not going to be trying to send
Like
the
this.
red Hormagaunt unit to objective 4. We're just going to be rocketing out a Dimacaron here.
Come in. Oh, okay, a little bit further up.
Now, I wonder if maybe some mistakes were made.
Um,
It looks like Rentar has clogged up this position
blue
here,
Hormagaunts are going to
so a
advance.
Dimacaron couldn't charge there, but there's the potential that you could put a Dimacaron here, and then declare on the Knight behind the wall, so that it wouldn't be able to overwatch you with that Rad Cleanser, and you just have to get basically around to this side, which is not a super long charge. Don't know if we have a Synaptic Lure in this list. That would give it rerolls to charge
That's
for
basically
free.
what they are, though. These very overgrown Hormagaunts.
Not wrong.
Yep.
Now, AshC also with Deploy Scramblers, which is, I think, a really smart pick in this matchup. Deploy Scramblers is usually not quite as good as Raise the Banners High on Retrieval Mission. The downside is that Rentar has the Cerberus Raiders, who can come in and gum up your objectives and potentially break those banners or deny them. So if you go second, especially, you won't be able to drop them on turn 1. But on the flip side, typically in Retrieval Mission, it's easy to screen out your deployment zone because it plays very defensively, and you can just put some chaff units in the back corners here and stop that Deploy Scramblers from happening. But this is a Knights list. You don't have that many extra models to stick around in the back, and it looks like that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to just drop some models in the back, grab that Engage on all fronts, maybe a Lictor in the other corner. I'm not sure if there's range for that. And that will give AshC her
then a smite goes off as well.
Go back to the psychic
8,
phase here.
And we'll do 3 more wounds.
So it looks like we're not going to be scrambling the deployment zone, but we are dropping 6 damage into the Archaeopter with a couple of smites. Good stuff.
1 CP to give this dude Canticles, and then pick a number 6.
Okay, and that is bigger ones. Okay. Then Swarmy is going to cast Onslaught, which passes on an 8. We'll put it on this Demacaran for obvious reasons, and Catalyst. Fails. I think that's worth a command point. It passes on a Perils. Ow. I will take 3 mortal
Paralyzes
wounds.
himself for
That's
3.
the fate of
Ooh,
3
that's
mortal
gross.
wounds, but that will go off on that demon.
Gets the catalyst up on the Dimacaron, the more aggressive
So,
Dimacaron.
Shooting phase.
That will make it so that if it doesn't kill
What am I
the
doing?
Megara, at least it's going to be relatively well defended against the swing back. We'll have to put 3 of those Siege Claw swings through the invulnerable save and then fail every single catalyst to have it the Dimacaron die.
They're 18 inches.
Ciania with the subscription. Pay
Then-
attention to your game.
I
I
will
appreciate
put
it, though.
the 2 wound Hierodual into the ponies. I think. Yeah, can't really see anything else. So 12 shots into them.
Wait. Hold on.
Sorry?
Nothing.
Okay. 4 hits. Wounding on 2s. 4 hits with 2s.
Do they not hit? Does he not hit on 5s?
He does, that's why he only got 4 hits.
No. So if he's aiming at the plane.
At the
Right,
ponies. I said ponies.
The ponies are not the closest target, so you get -1. Right? Oh no, instinctive
What?
behavior. Instinctive behavior is not affected by the aura thing. Never mind. You know what I did. So no, they add.
Okay. Which that'll leave 1 on 1 wound. And then the
Oh,
full
sorry.
one is going to shoot at the plane. Try to bring it down. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s. Just 1 wound.
It's 2.
Alright.
That will not bring it down.
No, it won't. And that is all my shooting, so charge phase. 2 wound Hierodual into the Raider. Good luck.
El Oblique. 5.
So some tepid shooting for these
Alright.
Hieroduals here. Not killing the plane.
Front, I guess
Tactical
Demacaran
Oblique
into...
Against this Hierodual, making
this
the
knight.
second Hierodual fail its stride.
Alright, 1 CP for Overwatch.
And we're going to Overwatch into the Dimacaron, it looks like here.
8 shots from the thing. 2 hits, so 6 hits.
So this is the Lightning Cannon
3.
into the Dimacaron. Makes 2
Takes
saves.
3 damage, feel no pains.
And no
takes 3
catalysts
damage.
for 3. We'll see how
Lima.
that Rad Cleanser does. Only 4 shots, okay.
CP that.
Yeah, CP reroll for big money. Goes to 6.
Shots.
This Rad Cleanser's terrifying. It wounds on 2s and automatically
No
hits.
AP, so
So it looks like it's
So
going to put
6
another
damage there.
6 damage through. Gross. Catalyst, save us. Only 1.
I'll take 5.
Not quite bracketed,
and
though.
then the plasma.
See if we could get it with the little guns.
1 hit. No one's.
Okay.
All right. Get him,
Then my
Dimacaron.
charge roll will be a 4. It is enough.
Yep, should be good to get in. Can use the pile and consolidate to maybe get to a position.
Then the red Hormagaunts.
If you
do have. That's right.
if the Dimacaron ends up killing the knight, it can pile in, consolidate to here, stay 3 inches out of this unit. I'll just be closer
And it would
to
have 8 attacks into me.
probably here, I guess. And then if that Dimacaron does kill the knight, it can overrun back behind this wall, so the second knight has a tough time getting line of sight to it.
7, which I think still just fails. Okay. And then my Melanthrope
Looks
will
like-
charge the plane
The Hormagaunts failed their charge after falling back,
with a
and
7.
we're gonna try to kill the plane with the
3 on top of
Malanthrope.
the Broodlord, and then another. Did I really block it out?
Looks Looks like it's going to be a little tough.
I think it just fit there because I didn't move it perfectly efficiently on the way over.
Yeah, chat. The Malanthrope
Okay.
flies so it can move over models. It just
So,
can't move over the
fights,
wall,
do you
which
have
is
an
why that
interrupt?
was an awkward,
Yeah, so we'll start
an
with
awkward
Cleaver.
move.
And
That's
I
a
will
little bit
reroll
sloppy
all the
on
twins.
Ashley's part there.
And also 4.5 away. Start by
Then 1 CP for rotate.
this guy have 4 up all the time?
He's got a.
Yeah, so we're going to go to a 4+
invulnerable.
invulnerable save in melee here.
Okay.
What makes Megara so good?
Yeah.
And I imagine
So
that we've
6
Voracious
hits,
Appetite in
wounding on
here. Wounding on
3s,
3s with full
rerolling.
rerolls. Only
5
5.
wounds.
Probably, we need a real whiff here on the invulnerable saves. No, only 2 wounds go through. Oh, no.
No.
It is going to be 14 damage,
14
though.
damage.
Get stuffed. Only 2 through. Big 14,
Yeah,
but
I
that
cannot
does
eat you
bracket.
because you definitely have more than 7 strength.
But
Would you like to interrupt with your plane? No.
doesn't
Okay,
kill it, so we're going to have
4
to
attacks
drop a
into it.
double fight, assuming this
Being on
Dimacaron
4s.
survives, which is certainly not a sure
Nothing at
thing.
all. Classic knowledge.
Alright.
Malanthrope whiffs on the Archaeopter, and that's going to probably leave it a little bit awkward, I think. The Archaeopter's going to pull out, and then the Malanthrope may be in range to be shot if this Hyrule goes down to a Thermal Spear. Uh-oh.
Hitting on 5s now because
Yep.
bracketed at me. Rerolling because he charged me. And wounding on 2s.
Mortal Wound ability, I
5
think,
up.
I believe, occurs at the end
It's
of
worth a
the
CP.
fight phase,
Yeah.
right?
What the hell? Let's just go all in. Nope, go through.
8 damage.
8.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dimacaron's down to 2. It does full reroll its hit rolls, though.
Xeno
Feel
spotted.
no pains. Oh, takes 7.
So, yeah, unfortunately, bracket's down to the bottom, so
Fully
it's hitting on
bracket
5s,
me.
but
Is it worth it? Heck yeah, it's still worth it. I'm going to fight
yeah,
twice.
it's worth with the double swing here. Unfortunately, probably not going to be able to pull out
6
of
more
combat.
attacks. On 5s, re-rolling.
4 hits. We got
Wounding
3s
on
rerolling.
3s,
Ooh.
re-rolling.
All
3
right.
wounds.
We need a flub here from this Megara on a 4+ invulnerable save. 2 to go through to kill it. 2 go through. Do we see a CP reroll?
But that will kill it.
Yeah.
If it Alright.
Okay, so the CP reroll fails, it looks like.
Okay, let's you blow up.
Doesn't explode, and that will automatically kill it with
Okay.
the murderous size. 1
Then I will
big knight
consolidate in
down.
and tag XV101.
All right, XV101.
So end of my turn, I will get 3 points on engage, and I scrambled the center. Over to you.
Okay.
The Malanthrope has to roll its miasma now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yep.
That is not
So
an
a
optional
4.
ability, chat.
Nope, nothing.
That's required.
Okay.
Could have been awkward if you if the kills the plane and the plane explodes and kills the Hyrule. I think that opens up a lot of Ash or Rentar. Excuse me. They got me. They finally did it. That opens up a lot of Rentar's turn
Okay.
because that Malanthrope is targetable.
So I can make a decision later. X101 is going to fall back.
Okay. Well. The coherency is fine, chat. As long as they get the highlight on it, they're good. That's how the Battle Scribe to TTS works.
These guys.
All right. Well, this game's getting really exciting. It's going to be interesting to see if Ashley can get the second Knight dead. That one is +1 damage against these Dimacarons. It's going to eat them alive if it gets line of sight, which will happen fairly soon. Not sure what's poking through the wall here. That might be the Dimacaron. That would be an unfortunate mistake from Ashley if that was the case.
5.
And here come the sulfur hounds. You're gonna see those sulfur breath attacks, AP1 flamer attacks into these Hormigons to clear the way there. Get those banners back up online. We got 2 banners scored for Rentar. AshC here with 3 engaged in all fronts thanks to that Dimacaron and the Rippers in the back corner. Big 4 on Bring It Down for killing one of the planes and a Knight.
Right, 3 Knights.
As well as, I imagine, 2 Scramblers deployed. Should be... I think this was a standard move, so this would be a scramble in the center here.
Yeah.
Looking like a good one.
7.
So Rentar should be scoring at least 4 on Bring It Down, possibly 5 if this Malanthrope goes down.
3.
She's got 2 banners raised. She'll continue to score those for most of the rest of the game. AshC is sort of running out of fast objective secured stuff to go run and grab those. That engage on all fronts is going to be interesting to score, though. Although she should be okay to score 3 on it every turn, or 2 on it, excuse me, for holding 3 quarters if these Armigers get into this quarter. Not to mention she's got this Cerberus Raider back here. He's the engage on all fronts guy now. One thing that's interesting is that Tyranids do have an out-of-line-of-sight smite. Their Psychic Scream actually hits the closest model regardless of line-of-sight. So we could potentially see this Broodlord pull back and just nuke that guy. And then drop a smite into the Archaeopter. Are the Armigers... are they a unit? No, so yeah, they have a vehicle squadron rule. So they all split after deployment. They're just operating like a squadron today, I guess.
I'm not doing anything with the plan. Yeah. So, plane bombs this Hierodule. Oh, 0. Amazing. Okay.
So I think we hover here just to retain the plane in the same position.
Into the front Hierodule.
Sure.
Oh,
We would have to shuffle around a little bit, I think, but I don't think that matters.
Stabas. You're not within 6. Nothing, and then Thermal Spear. Nothing. Other one, Thermal Spear, 3 shots.
These Armigers are whiffing today. This is sort of painful to watch, I'm not gonna lie.
1 wound.
Alright. It looks like we went through on the Hierodule.
Goes in half, so
Yep.
It's gonna kill it.
kills it.
Does he freak out?
He doesn't get angry.
He does!
Gets it down,
Oh,
flat 3 wounds in 3 inches, your plane will die. Because somehow the Hierodule can reach it. And yeah, so will your dog.
Alright, dog dies.
Broodlord is wounded, my one foot is wounded.
Flame
Oh no, yeah, so I think that was terrible for AshC. 6 on the
so yellow
death
Hormigons,
throws. It does kill the Cerberus Raider, which is amazing.
2, Swami,
But
takes 2,
kills the Fuselav, and
Daima,
we're gonna explode the
3.
Fuselav.
Broodlord, takes 3.
And kills the Brute Lord. Oh
1,
no!
Malanthrope takes 2.
Not like this.
Malanthrope is now no longer lookout set.
Yeah, and here comes some
Yeah,
shots.
but you don't have sight.
Yeah. Says you. Haha. I don't.
It says you, but you're right. You said it and you were correct.
Right, and then the 3 stabber shots into your whatever they're called. Polygons.
Yep.
That was brutal.
Whatever
Chat.
they're called, save.
Okay, and then the last one shoots into the Hierodule, and the Melta goes into the Hormigons. Of course, that's not the target. Both miss, and then the Melta shot hits and wounds, and that's one guy dead.
You got one.
Skitari are going
So,
to shoot
second part
Rippers.
Hyrule, relatively unscathed
Yep.
after that shooting phase as well. Imagine this... Probably just sink into the
Once.
Hyrule, right?
These have 5 ups.
Um,
So, 6 ups. So, yep, that's
two
what.
of, the problem was 2 of those were 2 damage shots.
I'll just kill off this one then.
Okay, yeah. These Skitari are going to shoot the Daima.
Yep.
Alright, Skitarii,
Ones.
can you kill the death dinosaur from outer space?
And then.
Oh my goodness, they are
all
hits.
damage.
Alright, takes 6. Feel no pains. It dies. Does this one get angry?
Not like this. Oh, another
Yes, it does.
death throws! No
So,
way! What is this game?
X101
Kills
dies,
X101.
and your ponies take
1
1.
damage into the Sulphur Hounds. Less exciting. Well, that's fun.
Ponies will shoot everything
Oh
into
my
the
God.
Homogons.
Yep.
So that's 1,
I have
2,
to say,
3,
the
4,
explosions
5,
have not been
7,
good for Tyranids,
8,
but they have
9,
been hilarious.
9
So
pistols.
that's good.
And
Jeez.
5d6 flamers. So the flamers.
So I think what we need to see here
Uh,
is...
17.
looks like the landing
of
zone
these
here
hit?
is
Rerolling 1.
still closed for a Dimacron to try to charge in there.
Plus,
So I think the second Dimacron just needs to eat the Overwatch from the Headsman's Mark.
So all of these are wounds. Wounding on
Megara.
2s because
If it
of
can do
the
that, Tyranids are out of the
fact that
woods,
you're
I
within
think, in
Red
this
Reef.
game.
Nice. Do they have AP?
AP1.
Okay, goodbye Homicons.
That's just how it be sometimes. Plasma from the Megara there. Big gun into the
Yeah, it should be 10
Timer,
on primary
the
chat. Oh, let's go.
Pyrodule, whatever it's called.
There you go.
Big gun, thing on 4s, rerolling 1s. Wounding on 5s. Minus
Alright.
2. Flat 4.
Takes 4 damage.
A 2-up
And
save really
plasma.
coming in clutch on these Hyrudules, man.
Okay, what was the plasma going
You
into?
can sort of see the
Oh,
strength
oh,
of that,
The river.
Oh,
the
Ripper, right, of
Jormungandr
course, yeah.
combo with them if they had that 1+ save.
Yep, that's my shooting. I actually considered shooting the lightning cannon at Swarmy because he stuck his claw out, but I figured I would refrain out of
Yeah, thanks. That's very kind of you.
Warglaive charging into the Homogons.
Yep.
So mix it in. Red Warglaive into the Homogons. 5 after.
So multiple Warglaives into the Hormigaunt unit
And I
here
don't
might
think
be
last
able
one
to
can get in because of that.
kill them. Looks unlikely the third one will be able to
Oh,
charge
roll
though.
for it and see.
They do have their sweep attacks,
Four
so I
inches
think
will
they could
definitely
kill the
make it.
Hormigons.
Oh, the Melanthrope now has an aura of reroll 1s to wound, by the way, because
Yeah.
the model died in 3.
Oh, I thought it was in 6. But, just why I didn't back off further. Oh well. Alright, so Armature 1s. It's a blue one. It swings into your Hermes, homies, whatever means. Rerolling. And wounding on 2s.
4 dead.
Kill 4.
That was the red one or the blue one?
Blue one.
Blue one, okay. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I can't pull you out of combat either way.
Tap the drain.
Sure.
Traps up. And take the swings.
That will kill the rest.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to knock off AshC from that objective, although she holding the other 2, she'll still get her 10.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So that was an exciting turn.
Understatement of the century here, I think.
Let's start.
Now,
with
importantly,
advancing
actually, we're down to 0 CP on Rentar's side. I'm just realizing. So no Overwatch represented on the second Megara, but also no double swing for this Dimacaron. So I think what we see here is AshC just tries to rocket her Dimacaron into the Megara. She can reroll her wound rolls and she can reroll her onslaught if she needs to. But if she gets it in and is able to do enough damage, she just has to hope that Rentar doesn't boss her 5-ups. And if she doesn't, it's going to go down. And that's going to be difficult for... Oh, looks like we're just going to maybe just go for the Armigers. All right. Fair enough.
And also, not land throw. Move the Hyrule a little bit less to get into this.
Yeah, still double move available, chat. Swarmlord's hanging out over here.
Yep.
He's in a pretty decent position. You could potentially roll an advance on the Dimacaron, put it here, get Swarmlord behind this if you wanted to get really aggressive, hope to engage a lot of these guys, and then double move from there.
Yeah, comfy little 6-inch charge.
Looks like we're just going to be going for the Armigers.
That is pretty much it. So I will.
This last Megara may be able to knock out the remainder of these Tyranid monsters. But the hope here is that it's not fast enough to stop the Tyranids from pushing forward on primaries, although these Sulphur Hounds are actually going to be really obnoxious in that case because they can clear out all of the back line here.
Sure, we'll just sit in the corner as is tradition and get the final scramble out. So then shooting.
Okay, so Scrambler is deployed.
Let's cast an Onslaught.
And this should have been 10 for
Goes up onto the Hormagaunts. And Catalyst will fail. And I'll let it fail. Shooting Guns. Hyrule will pump its shots into the blue Warglaive.
Okay.
Hitting on 4s.
Oof.
Then wounding on 3s. And rerolling them 1s.
Great roll here.
5 wounds.
5 up.
Alright, 4 damage. Then we're gonna advance the yellow Hormagaunts. They go 12.
So looking for looks like we're getting a double move on the Hormagaunts here.
But okay.
With their bounding leap, they're probably going to be able to declare a charge into this Armiger, then use the 6-in pile and consolidate
And
to block that
charge
objective
phase.
and rip the banner off.
Hyrule is going to charge both the Warglaives in front.
Uh-oh. That's not a good start.
4. That is not what we needed.
Yeah,
Just going to reroll that.
Uh-oh. Danger, Will Robinson. 6 should
Into a 6,
do
which is good
it?
enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Should be able to leave room for the Dema. Yep. And the Dema Karen will charge the red one.
It's not within one of both.
Oh, isn't it? Oh. There we go. There should still be room here. Yeah. Then the Dema will charge the red one.
Not like that,
And
won't.
fail that.
Oh,
Nice.
no.
I guess the Hormagaunts will charge the red one.
Uh-oh. And the Hormagaunts
And
also fail. No way!
Oh, right. This worked out excellently.
Wow.
So, fight phase. Hyrule into the blue one. 4 attacks.
Yeah, get those womp-womps going, chat.
And wounding on
Yikes.
3 wounds at AP3.
Hyrule will probably burn out. Oh my god.
Alright. That'll do 4 damage.
The Hyrule swings for 4 on a Warglaive and doesn't kill it? Are you kidding me? Chat, are you watching this game? What just happened this turn? Literally, Murphy's Law came perfectly into effect.
And wounding
Everything
on
that could go wrong
four
did
threes,
indeed
rather,
go
because
wrong.
It's times 2. 12, strength 12.
What's the AP?
Oh my
Okay,
god.
then I will pass one of them.
Flat 3.
That was awful.
And then the other one will do the exact same thing. 3 wounds.
And it dies. Does this one get really angry? No, it doesn't.
And the armigers kill the
Alright. And then
Pyrodual in
I will
response.
get
Yeah,
my
I mean,
scramble
what
off
can you do against that,
and
chat?
2 unengage.
Like, what do you do?
Bring it down.
You just die. What the fuck? Yeah, wow. That was wild. That was so insane.
Heals, back to full, heals. And this guy's already.
I think, I mean, maybe the Hormigont charge was asking for a little bit much. It only blocks a banner, and it takes your double move, so you could have moved the Dimacaron into an automatic charge instead of moving these models out and just keep these models here and to send them out next turn. I think we got a little aggressive there on Ashley's part. I mean, in fairness, like 9 times out of 10 that plan works just fine, but this is the one time in 10 where literally everything fails and you die. So I think this might be a quick game, chat.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
so I was holding.
Rooting
more,
for my
actually.
Tyranids over here.
I was 1, 2,
Oh.
3,
Whew.
and I was holding your. This one.
Yep, that you were.
Oh no! That also
So,
gave Rentar a
this
15-point
guy-
turn because she was holding
Going
objective
to move so that they're all
2.
within
Oh my
shooting
god.
range of the victor.
What was
guy.
that? That is a super feels bad chat.
And
At the very least, this is retrieval mission, right? So, like, at least Ashley's probably going to come out with a big loss.
and
So
something.
hopefully she'll be looking okay
So
to get out of this
just control
pod with
the
a bunch of
victor.
points. But this looks like it's
Yes.
probably going to be over pretty quickly. There is, I mean, there's a non-zero chance that
There.
Macron makes every invulnerable save here, but
Stay on the objective,
I
rather.
don't know.
Guitar will advance.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the shooting
Plus
phase
6.
ends up.
Point 12.
Maybe the gods of randomness will punish the Megara for its hubris.
And then these doggos. We go 16, I end up here. Yep. I'll spend 1 CP. Clock should be on mine. 1 CP, the auto advance. The auto advance for max.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in and try to knock one of these Hormigont units out. They are in Synapse, so you will have to clear the entire unit, which will be
So one of them is
very
out of
difficult.
range for flamers, but it's in range for pistols. Okay. They can shoot the pistol after advancing. It's weird.
Yep.
Okay. End of movement. Alright. So this is the auto one. These guys. 2 of them are shooting their flamers into purple. The rest are shooting everything into, and all the pistols and the rest of the flamers are going into.
Yep.
Blue.
Stay strong, little Hormigons.
All outside of
I believe in you.
range. So this is into the purple squad. That's 9 flamers. Wounding on 3s. Is that -1 from the 2 in front?
Oh, sorry, purple squad, right, they're dead.
Okay. And then 2 more flamers into blue. Just 7 shots. This aside. And then they have 1, 2. Oh, the pistols ignore. I know everything ignores cover, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So 9 shots. Thing on 3s. And then 7 more auto hits. And wound on 3s. So
Yep.
10 hit. Okay. These Kitari are gonna shoot your Victor.
Well,
That should be
just
12
kidding.
shots.
All the Hormigons died. That's not good.
And wounding on something. Probably 5s.
5, yeah.
2 damage each.
Yep,
So
it's dead.
dead. Megara will just pump everything into the dimer. I think no.
It only has
It's
range.
the diamond. It's the diamond number 1 -1 to hit, right? So I will do
Yes.
this different sequence, which will be blue Warglaive is going to shoot Swami out of his tail.
Okay. Yep.
Stubbers are going into the Pomegons. So Thermal Spear is 2 shots. Both miss. And Stubber. One.
Take them on people who have cover. Does not help.
Red is going to shoot. No. Blue is going to do the same thing. Because of
Yep.
your tail. Very helpful tail. 1 shot.
Sure, the tail's not actually that big on the model, but oh well.
Yeah, it misses anyway. So Stubbers.
That's why I use the smaller
Yep,
Swarm
staying
Lord
in
model,
cover.
chat.
One dead.
Its tail's not as long.
Okay, and then
It's
the
a
last
secret
guy is
tech.
going to shoot his
Pro
thermal
tip of
spear
the day.
into Swami and his melter into the diamond.
So the TTS Swarm Lord is about,
So the melter hits.
I guess in terms of volume,
Wounds.
about 2 or 3 times the size of the tabletop
Saved.
Swarm Lord.
2 shots.
Sort of ridiculously oversized.
Pause. Nothing. Okay, then the lightning cannon goes into the diamond.
I am saying I'm modeling for advantage, chat. You know why? Because there's no rules against modeling for advantage. You can't stop me.
And winding of pause. 1 minus 2.
Yep.
Flat
it's
ball.
I think I have my in-person Swarm Lord over here. Let's see if I can pull him out of my case.
And that's. I think so. Charges. Red. Will charge. Yellow.
Okay.
Looking it in. And I will base those 2.
Sure.
Chat, look at this model.
And then first blue
Does it
will
show up
charge
in the
your
camera?
diamond.
Look at how teeny this guy is. He's about 3 inches tall. And he doesn't.
And
His
the
tail
second
curves
blue will
around.
charge your
This is the
diamond.
stock model for Swarmlord. He's so
Tail.
small.
Very unfortunate.
And the TTS one, I think the tail would be here,
Erupt.
and the swords would be out here,
Red Armiger will swing.
and the model itself would be about an inch taller.
Rerolling.
Ridiculous, chat. Ridiculous.
That should
That's
be
what we get for
7 dead.
importing Dawn of War models, I think.
And there's a Malithorp effect in melee as well.
Sorry, no.
Okay, so big swings. Hitting on 4s, rerolling. And wounding on 3s.
Yep. And saving on 5s takes 3 damage.
So Dimacaron down to mid
That thing
bracket,
has saved so many 5-ups.
still sticking around. Hopefully it
Okay,
swings
and you
back,
can fight
kills
back.
this Armiger.
Yep. 6 attacks. Oh, re-rolling all those.
Good thing those
And
rerolls
wounding
kicked
on
in. We need some
3s.
3s to wound. 3
4
go
wounds.
through. 4 go through, excuse me.
-3?
No,
Okay,
it's
so
minus
You're
4.
dead.
No explosion.
Do we stick around and fight more robots, or go for some crazy dumb plan? I choose option number B. Wait, hang on. Am I within 3 of you? I am. Damn it! I cannot overrun. Okay.
Yeah,
Then we'll
potentially could have
just
overrun to
creep
hop
up a
over and
little
then
bit
get this
further.
charge. But you can get that with the Swarmlord move, I think.
And yeah. That should be.
If you just put Swarmlord over
Let's
here,
engage.
jump over with the Dimacaron, although it is down only to 8-inch movement, I think. Or 9-inch movement. So its movement's going to be a little bit tough from here on out.
The Dina will move up 9. Wait, no, it doesn't clip through a difficult terrain. We'll move up to there. Lanthrope will have to advance.
Ashley down to 3
That
models.
was too many dice.
Plenty of
We'll
models.
go 11.
She'll be fine. It's 5 for primary. Yeah, she got it.
Swarmy will be moving 9.
Okay. Here they come. Alright, so Swarmlord looks
The
like we're going to
question
go
is,
around
do I
and
need
try
to advance to make this viable? Don't
eat
think so.
the Sulfur Hounds.
Wait, hang on. Lanthrope will stay back here on this objective so someone's there. Duh. So then, Psychic Phase. Swarmlord will cast a Smite. Goes
Smite
off.
goes off on the Sulfur
And we'll
Hounds.
do 2 wounds.
Blinks 1 for 2, so it kills that wounded guy.
Yep, and then we'll cast Catalyst. Goes off on himself.
Gets a catalyst
He's now
going.
feeling no pain. Shooting Phase.
Do you think we just
Go
sink the Dimacron into
4.5
both
to here,
armigers and try to kill both of them? Is that
and
the
then
play here, chat?
4.5.
I think you gotta
to
swing for
here.
the fences, right?
And that was the shooting phase. Charges. The dimmer will
Do it.
charge
Charge both.
just the blue one, I guess. That'll be really
Go big or
boring.
go home. You only need 2 swings to
With a
kill them.
5.
You just split 3 and 3. Just grab them, put their heads together.
And Swarmy will charge
Alright.
the doggos.
It's fine. Big
With a
10-incher
10.
on Swarmy. Gonna get into the Sulfur Hounds. Hopefully cleared them up. I think what we're hoping to do is kill one and then
Let's
pull
start
back
with
to
Swarmlord.
the
6 attacks.
behind the wall, chat.
Hitting
Although we're
on
within 3 of the
2s.
second one, so we can't do that. I don't know.
And wounding on 2s.
I don't know, chat.
That'll be 4. Yep.
Save 1.
Ooh.
Is this flat 3?
Yeah.
We have a tail attack as well.
I will give that to you. I don't care for it.
And then the dimmer will put 6 attacks into the blue guy.
No reroll wounds here.
Rerolling with 6.
Playing with fire, but it should be fine.
It's
Oh,
number 3, whatever that is.
Yeah, it kills it.
Reroll once
Sure.
again, 5 phase. Yeah.
Oh, that's relevant. Wait, no, it's not. 4 wounds on the blue warglaive. AP4. Oh, wait, AP4, you don't even get a save, do you?
Yeah.
So, you just die.
Explodes!
Cool.
So 1 damage onto it.
Yeah, chat, I mean, like,
3
we're
damage onto my own guy.
we're at such
Alright. I will
a
then tag into your red guy.
losing
Why not?
proposition here.
Okay.
Like,
Red guy will swing.
I think what you have to do is, like, the way Ashley potentially gets out of this game, in this game state, is she kills all of the armigers, sinks every single invulnerable save on the Dimacron, and then kills the Megara. Like, that's the only way you do it. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
she can't really do that if she engages this armiger.
End of turn, I get nothing on engage.
Guy takes 1. He's fine.
It's got Plinked back, but it's still going.
Leadership 7. Okay, I get 2 more for banners. And get 15 again. Because it's 3 to 2.
Yep.
And these guys will drop banners. Guys.
So Rentar
Well,
in a
this might
position
go
to
for
max her
1.
primaries, which is I think where this game's going to be won. Ashley is playing well on secondaries. She has her. She's got a lot on Bring It Down. She has her scramblers
Yeah.
deployed. She's doing not great on engage, but okay. But she does force an awkward question here. Does this Warglaive pull out and let the Megara do its job? The line of sight on Swarmlord's a little awkward, but I think Rentar can grab it. Yeah, if she toes this line here, his swords are too big.
Yeah, I can see Swarmy.
Good job, Real Space Swarmy. I'm glad your swords go down instead of up. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, hold an inch. And just to make this a bit more obnoxious, this guy will pop over here. And give Swarmy -1 toughness.
Nice.
Stormlord does have
Yes,
Catalyst
you're
on him and a
into
4+
that
invulnerable save, so he might be
Exactly.
able to
He chose to go up there. It's not
bounce
like it
all
was
these
ordered or
attacks from the
anything.
Megara. We'll see.
Alright, so Lightning Cannon into Swarmy, everything else into the Daima.
So we did fall back with this Armiger.
Lightning Cannon. You're rolling 1s. And wounding on 3s because you got T6 now.
Come on, burn swords, parry it. No, he's dead.
Ah, no. Yeah, gonna
And
eat
Flamas into
whatever that is. 12 damage.
Daima.
So, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no! 12 rad cleanser shots into the Dimacron. Did flub a bunch of wound rolls, but the saves aren't great,
It's
and that's
dead,
going to kill the
12.
Dimacron too. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That was that.
And that's a ton. So
Megara just
Oh, and then I get 5 points.
targets locked.
And then end my turn.
GG. And that looks like that is going to be Rentar making it out of this pod with a win.
and I kill.
Yeah, unfortunate there, chat. But Ashley put up a good fight. It's a tough matchup. to be sure. And if that turn hadn't gone so disastrously bad, I think she has a pretty decent shot in this game. Definitely one turn that was going to be awkward to come back from. Turns out failing 2/3 of your charges and then like having your models die on your own turn is not a great place to be. Rip.
9 to here. That's 13-ish. And wouldn't be good enough.
I mean, oh yeah, we could score another run, bring it down. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Wait, no. That's yeah. 10. But I want to make sure I'm out of 6 of this option. Okay, thermal spear into your Malanthrope.
One shot on the Malanthrope. Doesn't
misses, and the Melta hits. Melta wounds.
Oh no, I don't get a save.
Do you die, Malanthrope?
This is just D6.
Oh.
For 2,
Do you
I will
reroll?
CP
Yeah.
that.
Try to get it.
No, actually, I won't CP that because I need to hold that for charge.
Alright.
And then to your charge. 8.
No.
I don't think there was a possibility of AshC moving outside of the range, the explosion range, chat. Because her whole army has to sink in here, right? Like, I guess you could pull back, but then the Megara starts drawing line of sight. That's no good. I don't think that I think she was just stuck in. Maybe the Broodlord could have walked back or something, but...
CPU
well, I'm already dead.
Yeah, that'll do it. Tabled!
So
GG.
3 for engage, 3 more.
Alright, chat, if you have any questions for the players, go ahead and drop them in. Drop a prediction in here.
Yep.
Choose outcome. Wow, so many votes for the Tyranids. I'm sorry, chat.
Well, that was
so
short.
many people gonna lose their
We didn't even
lose
take.
their channel points.
We barely took an hour.
Ding, ding, ding. Well, there you go. It was those lightning cannons making it a lightning fast game.
Hey!
Hey!
You know, the lightning cannons didn't really do that much.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, it was a fun pun. You don't have to ruin Trevi's dreams like this.
Yeah, don't ruin my perfect joke. Yeah, I think what did almost 100% of the damage in this game was stuff exploding, apparently. The most lethal attack in all of 40k is just everything blowing up all the time.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild.
This bubble of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was always going to be a ridiculous game. I really wanted to play the mission and very sparingly throw out Hormagaunts one squad at a time to knock her off primaries and stuff. But then we got Retrieval Mission where it's just physically impossible to get someone below 10 primaries, so
Yeah.
just have to go for it, YOLO everything, and see what happens. Turns out this happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when, like, most of your charges fail, and then your Hyrule just, like, takes the day off and decides to go home, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that was also a
so
heartbreaking
brutal
charge.
to watch.
Yeah, I think I could have brought it back into it if the Hormagaunts bounce over here to block that objective, kill 2 armatures, and mess everything up. But then, nope.
So that would have just broken the banner, right?
Yeah.
So do you think it maybe would have been worth holding the Hormagaunts for a turn and double moving the Dimacron to ensure that charge goes off? Because it was like 2 6-inch charges, which is like right in the cusp where you're like, ugh, if I have to CP roll, it's weird.
The problem is, if I do that and I kill the armigers, I still lose the game. I need to actually disrupt her scoring somehow, and that means tearing the banners off, because I can't actually stop her from scoring primaries. That's basically the only way that I can interact with her points. So it was... I'm not sure that was the right decision, but I didn't have a lot of good options there. I think that was the best of the bad decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, that might be right for sure. At least disrupting the banners for another round is pretty obnoxious. But yeah, I think you were definitely at the position, and this matchup is a little bit tough for Tyranids, just going into or at least big monsters, right? Just going into so many like lethal guns off of the Megaras.
Yeah, I was also hoping to roll bigger advances on the Hormagaunts so they could actually charge Skitari and steal the objective.
Right.
So having to just knock off the banner was itself a desperation contingency plan kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the sad thing is that Hormagaunts, because of the Vanguard getting a -1 strength or bubble, only win them on 5s.
Yeah, I didn't think it was actually going to work, but you gotta try. Worst case scenario, I was going to knock the banner up in the charge phase and then die, and oh well, that's still mission accomplished.
Hormagaunts aren't really there to kill people. They're just there to hang around. They just come to visit for a turn and then they die.
Did chat have time to type out any questions during that game?
Let's see. Deviantor asking, been more of a fan of Gene Stealer Swarms to kill objective secured and Hiveguard instead of Dimacarons and Big Bugs. All of the shooting out there right now can just shred a Dimacaron. What are your thoughts?
I think that the person in charge of making all of these maps plays Tyranids, and therefore there are giant walls to hide demons behind in every single deployment zone. So, not that I'm accusing you of bias.
In my defense, I also don't really play Dimacarons because they get shot to death. So, even when you have a big piece of terrain, it's not often enough. They're so giant.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Gene Stealers, there are matchups, but I mean, they're good against Sisters and they're good against Drukhari. So maybe now that those are the hot new list, I might look into it. But you sure as hell don't want to charge Gene Stealers into Death Shrouds. And that's what I was worried about when this pod started off.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it might be worth looking into them if Death Guard and... Oh, that's just me. The only good bug is...
The only good bug is a dead Buga. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out sometime, I think.
Yeah, and as for Hiveguard, they are definitely better than Hierodules overall. I just don't like Hiveguard, so I refuse to use them.
Barbed Hierodules are certainly classier, that's for sure.
And they're good. I mean, even with all the lightning cannons in this matchup, they survived a lot. I played against Tyranid Ben himself, played his Imperium list against me, which was a funny matchup. He did the whole, well, I've played as Tyranids against this before. I know how to beat you. Turn 1 charge with Vanguard Vets into your Hierodules. And they just kind of bounced off with a funny boing noise, and then I killed them all into
yeah,
shooting
you like
phase.
Roll some 6s into my 4+ save. Like, okay. Good job, you did 5 wounds. I'm not going to shoot you. Yeah, that's totally fair.
Not the best.
Yeah. Have you played around with Exocrines at all?
No. It's a valid option instead of Hierodules, and I think there's a world in which I think having played this now, I would probably switch a Hierodule for an Exocrine and then use the points to turn the Melanthrope into a Flying Hive Tyrant, because I desperately need something that can swat those goddamn planes out of the sky.
Yeah, the Hive Tyrant also has a little bit of a benefit over the Dimacaron. This segues into another one of our questions, in that its base is much smaller, so you can actually you can jump into awkward positions that the Dimacaron sometimes gets screened out of. And Skedaddle is asking if base size ended up being a hindrance for either player in this game, since you're both running such big models.
You do notice how this Megara took 4 turns to exit this corridor?
Yeah, I love watching it turn sideways to walk through this gigantic... obviously base size is a problem, but if you want to play with giant Pacific Rim nonsense, then you just have to accept. Is that the right reference? I never saw that movie. I think that's Robots Fighting
Yes.
Monsters.
Yes.
Good.
The big
Okay.
kaiju movie. This certainly was a
Oh,
Pacific Rim game of the big kaijus fighting the big robots.
Speaking of, Pacific Rim is is either a terrible movie or an excellent movie to watch on acid. For me, it was a terrible movie.
Good to know. I'll avoid that then. Next time I'm tripping the acids, as the kids say.
But it definitely did feel like the Hyrule. I mean, they're like the biggest base in the game, close to it maybe. But they definitely got stifled a little bit in here by the plane plus the Cerberus Raiders, right? And that sort of concentrated your army for the explosions to deal maximum damage, which was I think definitely a big swing point of the game.
That's also one of the problems, because my list is designed to use the Melanthrop to keep the Hierodules alive even longer, but then both Hierodules need to be in the same place to benefit from the aura, which means that they get bottlenecked like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely an early draft of a Tyranid list. I haven't been playing the faction for that long.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that is a downside of the big bugs into AdMech, I think, especially because I'm not sure if any faction like jams them up as well as AdMech does, besides maybe other Tyranids. You just put so many sort of unengageable things in front of them and tell them to stay in the corner for a while. Kidder is asking if either of you could have chosen a different opponent from the pod to play against, who would it be and why? Oh, wow.
That's a question.
Sounds like
Wasn't there someone playing Custodes who
question.
you beat to get into the finals? I would play against the Custodes guy and I would smash that person.
Ooh.
They have like the same model count as you, except they can't kill all of my bugs from 3,000 inches away. How could I lose?
I don't know. Maybe probably whoever it was that was running that Avatar of Kain. I remember seeing one in pod. Somebody was running an Avatar of Kain.
Sean Naden did it, so it must be good.
I have no idea, so.
I mean, you know what? I'm happy that we played this match together, even though I lost in painful ways, because it was a fun game. So if I could choose a different match, I wouldn't.
Boom.
Hey.
Alex E was playing an Avatar of Kain with 9 Dark Reapers, a bunch of Razorwing flocks, and
Sounds like Sean Naden's list.
some other one Ravager and some other stuff. There you go. And H. Joey was playing Custodes. There you go. You
Xeno spotted.
You feel good about that matchup, even though they can Emperor's Auspice your voracious appetites? It's very sad.
I mean, if you go into a game against Custodes and your plan is to kill them all, then you've already failed.
Yeah. I think on retrieval mission it might be an open game plan because you can just run all the way around.
Yeah.
Sort of slowly march up the table.
Exactly. I mean, they have some gun. Well, I didn't actually look at the list. Maybe if this is like the Ares, Orion, the big shooty plane version, then I don't like that. But most Custodes are just going to slowly walk around, and then Hormigons go zoop, zoop, zoop in a single turn.
Yep.
And oh look, I have your back objective.
Yep. No, it's a single Telenon, 2 Palace, 5 Aquilons, 4 units of infantry with 2 Storm Shield units and 2 Sagittarium, and then some characters. We actually just saw it on earlier today on stream. Let's see. Deviantor asking, that's a good point that Ashley brought up with Death Shroud. Between them and Dark Angels Terminators, they can be tough for Gene Stealers. How would you handle those units with a close combat unit? I assume a Tyranid close combat unit.
So first and foremost, I wouldn't. Again, similar to what I just said, if you go into a game against Death Guard and your plan is to kill the Terminators, then you have already failed. Go around and kill the Poxwalkers instead. So I guess that makes the whole thing where I said you should not have Gene Seals because of Death Shrouds sound a bit silly. I haven't played Tyranids that much, so I'm not...
Yeah, no, it's very valid though. The almost, I mean, you're just faster than everything in Death Guard besides Mortarion, and Mortarion can be Mortarion's the problem child in that matchup. I think if you play into like a Mortarion list, Death Guard list, they have a super tough matchup into Tyranids. And then Mortarion, if he can survive and get his defenses online, it's really awkward. Then I think they're advantaged, but yeah, if you're just worried about Death Shroud Terminators, you just run away and you drop like Set 5 smites into them every turn, and eventually they go away. It just sort of becomes not a problem as the game goes on.
The counter to Death Shrouds is okay. If you hover your mouse over a unit, hold tab, and then move, it'll say 17.1.
Yeah, that's basically it. And fortunately, Tyranids threat way farther than that with everything in their faction, so they don't have to engage into Death Shrouds unless they need to. And usually you can get them down to the point where like something random just kills them, and then it's fine. And Dimacarons are also really good at finishing that unit. They're not good to stick into them, but if you like drop a bunch of smites into them and shoot them for a turn, and they're down to a couple models, the Dimacaron just picks them up and chucks them in its like weird belly mouth and then runs away.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of why the Broodlord's there. I love the double smite.
Yeah.
It is so useful against units like that.
Yeah. Cool. Iceman's the counter to 5-inch movement is 6-inch movement. Good stuff.
I'm sad. I'm disappointed no one's asking me about my spicy Forge World choice.
Well, you can tell us about the spicy Forge World choice. Sounds like you want to talk about it, so go for it.
No, it's okay. No one wants to know, so it's okay.
Look, okay. I play Tyranids. People like Tyranids. You play AdMech. Everyone hates AdMech. Therefore, you don't...
There might be a Tyranid bias in this community for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm playing Knights. I just happen to have some AdMech because I need to hold objectives.
But you don't. You could just not score points like all the other Knight players.
Oof.
Actually, do you remember in the Noosphere where I, with pure Knights, beat a Drukhari player into the dirt?
Yeah, no, that proves that Drukhari is completely non-viable. I'm going to stop playing them right away.
Kitakuru asking if the Megara is the only viable Knight option right now.
No. There are 3 viable Knight options. Sorry, there are 5 viable Knight options. There is the Warglaive, there is the Moirax, which are the 2 little knights. The Helverin is not viable. So 2 little knights and 3 big knights. The 1 big knight that are viable are the two other big knights that are viable are the Castellan and the Warden or the Crusader, whichever it is. They can take that relic Gatling cannon for cheaper. Or the Relic Battle Cannon, whichever it is. I think it's a Relic Battle Cannon. I don't remember. Anyway, there's one. It's a Gatling Cannon that's really good because basically you get exploding 6s at strength 6 AP2, which 2 flat 2, which absolutely rips through Marines. But the Castellan as well as the whichever it is that takes it are both only viable as single models, whereas Megara is the only one that's viable if you take multiples.
That does dovetail into Deviantor's next question. What do you think about rocking a Castellan and a Megara, dropping a Warglaive instead of running double Megaras? So it'd be 2 Warglaives and 1 Megara and 1 Castellan at that point.
Doesn't really work too well because the problem is that the Castellan only really excels in House Raven. Like you can put in a Crust and you get okay results, but you need to shove it into Raven onto the Free Blade lands, I guess, because you can still get reroll ones in that thing for a truly like incredible Castellan.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Megara, um, you know, doesn't do well in Raven. It does really well in Crust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they
And
kind of want to be in different detachments. And the problem is, if you take knights in two big knights in two different detachments, you're paying 6 CP.
Oh yeah, knights, huh? What do you need command points for anyway?
Rotate Iron Shields.
Nah.
Okay.
Just don't do that.
Also, if you're taking the Castellan, you need to pay 3 CP every turn you're shooting it. So
Agent X asking if you think the Megara list is a competitor or just a short-term gimmick.
I think it's a competitor until the AdMech Codex comes out, and then this list dies because the AdMech Codex is going to change everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one can hope.
Yeah, like the main reason that this list has viability is the well, okay. So this does let me segue into my Forge Roll chit chat. So the Forge Roll is chosen because I get the -1 toughness aura, right?
Yep.
So the main problem with Megaras as a unit is that all their shooting is strength 7. And there's a lot of strength 7, there's a lot of T7, T8, and T4 in the game. So what the dogs let you do is apply a -1 toughness aura from 21 inches away. Because they have a strat to auto advance for 6, so they go 18 plus 3-inch aura, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically a +1 to wound on the Megara against T4, against T7, and against T8, which is absolutely bonkers, as you saw in Swarmy.
My poor little boy.
Look what they've done to my boy.
He deserves every second of it.
Oh, I mean, you're right, honestly. But he's the only thing keeping this faction afloat.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the that was a sound effect from the Sulphur Hounds chat. Those aren't real dogs, those are in the background. Well, I think that's all the questions that we had.
Yes. Anyway, so to finish up the response, so the problem is that once this particular interaction probably goes away, Megara shooting drops significantly in viability. I mean, they still punch really hard. It's just yeah. I think there's room, like the Free Blade lands thing is actually not. It's like a solid tier 2 list. It's just not a good list.
And you have to keep track of all of those Free Blade abilities.
Oh yeah.
Like 1,000 different models.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The one I was running had 7 models, and I was basically using gold pieces to keep track of whether or not.
I have played quite a few games against knights, and I still don't understand what any of them do, and it is mostly because of free blades. You're just kind of constantly asking throughout the game, what does this one do? Okay, I know, but does something completely different to last turn? Or does it, or doesn't? I don't know what anything is going on anymore.
Yeah.
Freaking knights.
Yeah, you'd think an army with only like 5 models in it would be easy to parse, but no. No.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the Castellan, which has like 6 different guns.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, okay, I know what your shooting does. And wait, no, I've got something else. You've got something else. And then another thing that's shooting, and another thing that's shooting.
It never stops. It's like people used to joke with like the old Space Marine tanks, like repulsors. So you could just keep rolling attacks, and your opponent, like, just hope your opponent didn't notice. Like, all right, we're gonna shoot this stubber, and then we'll shoot the storm bolters, and then we'll shoot the frag storms, and then we'll shoot the laser, and then we'll shoot the Gatling cannon, and then we'll shoot the heavy bolters, and then I don't know, maybe there's like a last talent on this thing. Who knows? You just keep rolling those Castellan attacks, and it's fine. All right. So I think we're gonna call it there. So thank you both for playing. This is a fun game to watch. And a quick one. Congrats to both of you for getting here. And Rentar, congratulations on taking it down.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just very disappointed that I didn't force you to go talk about AshC versus AshLee.
Oh, I talked about that. You got me once. I tripped up one time.
Nice. That's all that we really were hoping for.
Mission accomplished.
We actually deliberately both got to the finals just so that would happen. We were conspiring ahead of time.
You like unfurl the banner on the aircraft carrier. We did it. All right, good stuff. Well, thanks both of you.
All right.
Congrats again.
Yep, and this engine tier can climb out of an F-15 or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, see you later.
Cheers. It would have been worse if they started the game and swapped sides. Oh, there goes the table flip. Nice. Classy. Classy end to the stream. All right, chat. Thanks for watching. Glad that was a fun and quick game. We were playing some Speedhammer here today. I would like more games to be that quick. Tactical Tours community. Get on that. Let's see more 1 hour games of 40k. This is a fun one though. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know how you liked the face cam on the commentary too. I'll keep doing that if people liked it. But some people are, well, one person was asking me about it before the game started. So cool. Let's find somebody to raid, huh? Raiding party. Who's live? War Hamsters. I hope everyone enjoyed the book club that we raided earlier. War Mistress is live. It'd be fun. I think we will raid War Mistress. Yeah. All right. I'm not sure when I'm going to be live next, chat. I think I'm going to try to set up a battle sector stream this weekend. So I will probably be live on Saturday. I'll put that up in the schedule. It'll be on the Twitch channel, and it will be on in the Discord as well. We also got a bunch of events going on. For people who haven't heard it, it looks like our team event actually just filled up, but I don't know if all of the teams are filled. So if you want to jump on a team, exclamation point events in there. We'll get you the link to the BCP page. Exclamation point Discord to get to our Discord, and you can go on and there's a channel about the team event there. And if you're looking for a team, go ahead and post in there, and somebody might pick you up. That's gonna be fun. We're also Rapid Fire 13 is looking for entries right now if you want to get some games in quick. And we have a 1-day May 1st, so it's gonna be an all-day RTT. We'll just drop an exclamation point events in there for anybody who wants to join those. There are all the BCP links. You can join. And I didn't set up this raid. All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching. We're going to go ahead and raid War Mistress. Looks like she's doing some painting. That'll be fun. So have fun hanging out with Tanya. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your hump day.